The time for action is now. We are being called to reclaim Britain.
We're taking our country back! Who screams? Our street! Who screams? Our street!
A nation divided, a government under fire, and streets filled with voices demanding change. What happens when the people feel betrayed by those sworn to protect them? Today, we're diving into a breaking story that's shaking Britain to its core. Mass protests erupting in Southampton after a horrifying crime sparks outrage across the UK. But what's really fueling this fire? And why is the Prime Minister at the centre of it all? Stay with us, because this is a story the mainstream media won't fully cover. If you're not subscribed yet, hit that button now and turn on notifications. We're here to uncover the stories they don't want you to hear. It all started with a tragedy that sent shockwaves through Britain. In Southport, a young boy committed an unthinkable crime, murdering 3 innocent little girls. The court's response: a 50-year prison sentence. Justice served? Not quite. The Prime Minister stepped in, appealing for a reduced sentence. Yes, you heard that right, he wanted leniency for a child killer. Why? That's where the controversy begins. What would you do if your leader fought harder for criminals than for victims? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. The media's reaction only poured fuel on the fire. Major outlets like the BBC initially labelled the massacre a non-terror attack, but as evidence surfaced, the courts reversed course, officially classifying it as terrorism. By then, the damage was done. Citizens who dared to call it a terror attack from the start. Arrested, silenced, jailed, and all for speaking the truth. Imagine being punished not for committing a crime, but for calling one out. That's the Britain many now believe they're living in. And the protests, they exploded.
What do we want? When do we want it? Now! Who screams? Our street! Who screams? Our street! Who screams? Our street!
Citizens, we stand on a great threshold. The time for action has come. The time for action is now. We are being called to reclaim Britain as our own and to deliver justice to those who have had their lives destroyed by migrant terrorism. We owe it to our forefathers and our children to return Britain to its former glory.
Southampton became the epicenter of the public's fury. Streets flooded with protesters chanting mass deportation now. And whose streets? Our streets. Their message was clear. They felt abandoned, unheard, and betrayed. This wasn't just about one crime, it was about a growing sense that Britain was spiraling out of control. If it's good enough for America, it's good enough for us, shouted one demonstrator, demanding mass deportations and an end to what they called migrant terrorism. Controversial. Absolutely, but to many, it was a last resort. Do mass deportations solve the problem, or create a bigger one? Let us know what you think.
Well, today, patriots, fear no longer controls us. We control fear. The occupation of Britain must end. The liberation of Britain begins today. We must end migration terror. Mass deportations and remigration solves the housing crisis and the rape crisis. Yes. But we must also end Arab and Islamic supremacy. Yes. We must rid our land of religious bigots and racist Muslim supremacists.
The Prime Minister's response: silence on the protesters' demands, but swift action against them. Police cracked down on demonstrators, arrests were made, and the narrative was tightly controlled. Meanwhile, the PM continued to push for leniency in the Southport killer's sentencing, deepening the public's outrage. Who does the government really serve? the people, or their own political interests. But the protests weren't just about this one case. They tapped into deeper fears about rising extremism, unchecked immigration, and the government seen as out of touch. Protesters demanded mass deportations and a complete overhaul of Britain's immigration system. They claimed it was the only way to reclaim the country, but critics argued these views fueled division and xenophobia, warning that such policies would tear communities apart. Can a nation protect itself without compromising its values? It's a tough question, but one Britain now faces head-on. One of the most shocking elements, the media blackout. Major outlets downplayed the protests, focusing instead on isolated incidents of violence to discredit the movement. But independent journalists on the ground told a different story of families, veterans, and everyday citizens demanding their voices be heard. Begs the question, who controls the narrative, and what truths are being buried beneath the headlines? As protests spread beyond Southampton, the UK stands at a crossroads. Will the government address the concerns of its citizens, or continue down a path that many feel is leading to chaos? The people are speaking, but is anyone really listening? This isn't just about one protest or one tragic crime. It's about the future of Britain, about who gets to decide what kind of country it will become. The question now is, what side of history will you stand on? We want to hear your voice. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you believe in challenging the mainstream narrative, subscribe and hit the bell icon. Together, we can uncover the truth they want to keep hidden. Stay informed, stay engaged, and most importantly, stay loud. We'll see you in the next one.
Now, here we go. It's all up and fucking sight. Completely surrounded by police. Bravery of the patriots here is just fucking phenomenal, mate. It's absolutely phenomenal. Look, they've got, you know, they've got old geezers here, everything with us. Fine Brexit's here. Look at this lovely lady here standing here, eh? What a lovely lady. Is she showing any fear? No. I shall stand right behind her. If they try and rush her, it's going to go. You know what I mean? I'll smash their heads in. Rock and roll, brothers. As you can see, government city. Yeah, we're getting surrounded there. You can see them jihadis, they're trying to get amongst us. There's some more there. Yeah. But let them try and lay a finger on any of us, one of these lovely ladies here, and there'll be a fucking kick off and a half, mate. We'll probably get done, but we'll put up a hell of a good show, mate. I can. Now, here we go. It's all up and fucking sight. Completely surrounded by police. Bravery of the patriots here is just fucking phenomenal, mate. It's absolutely phenomenal. Look, they've got, you know, they've got old geezers here, everything with us. Fine Brexit's here. Look at this lovely lady here standing here, eh? What a lovely lady. Is she showing any fear? No. I shall stand right behind her. If they try and rush her, it's going to go. You know what I mean? I'll smash their heads in. Rock and roll, brothers. As you can see, government city. Yeah, we're getting surrounded there. You can see them jihadis, they're trying to get amongst us. There's some more there. Yeah. But let them try and lay a finger on any of us, one of these lovely ladies here, and there'll be a fucking kick off and a half, mate. We'll probably get done, but we'll put up a hell of a good show, mate. I can.